welcome to another episode of Asexuality, my Asexual Life. This is supposed to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if we're enjoying the content as we go along. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bowman, author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com, the founder of Asexualise Academy. Thank you for the thumbs up. Welcome to tonight's episode. I want to talk to you about something that is very, very annoying for asexuals to hear. And that is we need to be fixed by a pill. I am absolutely disgusted by this. I think it's bang out of order and it's just ridiculous. Okay, so yesterday I mentioned a little bit about a guy I'd connected with from out of a sexual dating group. Now, this guy happens to be Indian, which is the type of guy I usually go for. And he happens to be in my country, not too far away from me, and studying IT course. So he ticks a lot of boxes relationship wise, and he approached me from this UK dating site which isn't for asexuals, and I was disgusted by the way he spoke to me in the end, right? Because it was just horrible. You know, I've made a couple of good friends that aren't asexual recently, and those are really good guys, you know. That, I mean, when I say good guys, they still like sex, you know what I mean? But they're respectful of me. But this guy was totally unrespectful. And I thought it was really nasty. And it did leave me feeling like it's upsetting for asexuals to get told this. Asexuality is sexual orientation. It's not something that can be fixed by a pill. Why don't people understand that, you know? Just like someone's born heterosexual, you can't change your sexual orientation by having some pill to change it, because it's your sexual orientation. Do you know what I mean? That's just like me telling all the sexuals in the world, right, we'll just take a pill then. I mean, I basically said that back to this guy because I was so, you know, I was so annoyed with him, right? And so this is how the conversation went, right? So he was interested. I mean, obviously I won't reveal who he is because I don't do that, do I? You know, I keep people anonymous unless they want to shout out or, you know, they're an ally, a friend or anything like that, right? So the conversation was going backwards and forwards about a theoretical, oh, hi, Ray. Lots of love to you. Ray's a lovely new community member here recently, which I saved him from a sexual group. We're still both in the sexual dating group, but he knows. Oh, hi, Eunice. Oh, hello, Eunice. Oh, Eunice is lovely. Eunice is one of the people I was just talking about a minute ago that's not asexual, but been very respectful. So he's come on this stream. So this is really interesting. I better be careful what I say now. Eunice is very good looking. But yeah, so I was talking about this Indian guy. Eunice missed that the first bit, right? So this Indian guy, like, usually I have a preference for Indian guys because you wouldn't know that because you probably haven't seen this channel before. But this Indian guy, I was really upset about the way he spoke to me about asexuality, right? Because obviously, Eunice, you've been really respectful, even though you're not asexual. And there's another guy who connected with me, and he's been respectful as well, which I don't mind speaking to guys who aren't asexual, so long as they're respectful and want to learn more and keeping open mind and stuff like that. But this guy is just so rude to me, and it's a shame because he lives not far from me, and he is usually the type of guy I would go for in terms of career, like IT. The look I'd like. Indians usually my preference, but so Indians usually my preference, and Bangladesh, the Middle Eastern, that's kind of how it goes. But Eunice looks gorgeous. He's Moroccan without hair on his face, because you guys know I don't like facial hair, right? You all know that when you watch my channel a lot. I like clean shaven, spare for kissing. But anyway, so yeah, so this guy, right, we started messaging. When did we start messaging? It was only like 2 days ago, I think. Tuesday it was. Yeah, so it wasn't long ago. Like, it's going into Friday now because we're just gone midnight. So he's like, oh, sorry to PM you. Saw you in the group of singles group. Just thought to connect. Is it okay, like, to message you? Sorry if it's wrong. So obviously, you know, you know that I usually like Indian guys. So I'm like, hi, yeah, it's nice to hear from you. I see you live in, I'm not going to say where he lives, not far from me. Yes, it's okay to message me. What type of thing are you looking for in a relationship? Are you just here for study or permanently? And then he's like, thanks for replying. I saw your profile, so just thought to message you. In like currently I'm doing my masters, but yeah, trying to get a job here for me to stay later. Where are you from? Like mainly guess these days it's tough to know someone, so would you like to know and talk to you, then later we'll see I feel. The language isn't great because he doesn't speak great English, but I speak to foreign guys all the time, so I can always decipher what they're talking about anyway. So I'm saying that, you know, where I live in relation to where he lives, and they're like, oh, thanks. Oh, sure, Exeter, I know it. Everyone knows I live in Exeter anyway. It's north of where he lives, he reckons. So what do you do, by the way, and how was your day? Like, are you looking for anything specific in a relationship, right? Now, I clearly put in my post, right, of what I'm looking for a relationship. I list all the do's and all the don'ts, or all the don'ts first and all the do's of a relationship. And I do that on purpose because I get fed up being messaged by guys who haven't read my profile and who go, you know, I've had about 11 messages of guys that I've just deleted, the majority of them, because they're all after sex. You know, they don't read my profile. They're like, hi, I'm interested. I'm like, yes, but I don't like sex. Do you know what I mean? And like some of them are like, oh, it's like, don't you read a profile before you actually like message someone? Because but then, you know, sometimes heterosexuals, they message tons of people at once. They don't really look at their profile, they just see their picture, think they're nice, and I'll just message them. Whereas I'm not like that, because I want to find a genuine, proper, long-lasting, loving, healthy relationship, not just a picture of someone. Because, you know, looks can change, and if you don't like person's personality long term, it won't work, will it? So it's really important that you don't go just by looks. But I mean, the amount of people that can't have read what I said. I mean, usually I say no guys from foreign countries because I want a guy in the UK as well who can live here permanently, resident, with a visa of his own, and not because of marriage, because I don't want marriage, you know, and I don't want to be cooking and cleaning for a guy either. So some people in the groups are like, oh well, what have you got for a guy then? It's like, I don't want sex, I don't want marriage, I don't want kids, I don't want to live together. But actually, that's really good. It's positive because, you know, I'm not expecting a guy to pay loads of money for me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not making him have kids so he can't do his career. He can still be with me and have a great career, and we can go, you know, do things together. We don't need a kids. Do you know what I mean? Obviously some people do, but you know what I mean? And this woman in one group, because I'm in another group tonight, getting a lot of stick, and I've had someone sticking up for me, luckily, because her son's asexual, which is great, and she wants to learn more, you know, and they're like, well, they're like, oh, well, it's not just you don't like sex, it's like, why are you putting all these do's and don'ts? Like, I've got about 5 don'ts and 12 do's on there and 2 preferences, but people haven't bothered to look at the do's want in a relationship. All they bother to look at is all the don'ts, which are negative. Well, can be seen as negative, but that's the thing, you see. They shouldn't be looking at it as negatively, because they're like, well, why do you put them? I'm saying because unless you are clear on what you want in a relationship, you won't get what you want in a relationship because you're not clear. And that is the most profound statement ever if people paid attention to it. You will not get what you want in a relationship unless you're crystal clear about what you want. Because if you're not crystal clear about what you want, you won't get what you want because you don't know what you want. And so finally, the woman who was an admin of one of the groups just stopped and said, okay, because it's actually true. That's why thousands of people are single. Thousands of people are single because they just go through and see all the pictures. They don't know what they really want. They're just looking for company online. They're just looking for flirtation. They're just looking for online sex or whatever it is. They're just looking for appearances, and they just swipe, 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 swipe. And they wonder why they can't get anyone. And they're not specific about what they want. You know, if someone doesn't want marriage and they don't make that clear from the beginning, then you'll get all the people that predominantly will want marriage. Why? It's a waste of time and a waste of life. You shouldn't be doing that. You know, you definitely shouldn't be doing that. If people want kids, you should be putting a lot of the photos are fake anyway. Oh, hi Ray. Yeah. I mean, I'm in another group. I got invited to this other group by an admin. Then the other 2 admins in the group decided to have a go at me when I went in it. Like, I'm in the other group posting that I'm asexual again. Of course, you know, it's like, oh my god, someone just doesn't want sex. I can't cope. Do you know what I mean? That type of thing. And and so in the other group, they just constantly posting on there now, going, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. One guy said he's asexual, but I'm selfish because I won't have sex with a guy and meet his needs. And it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not selfish at all. I make it clear, if a guy wants sex, don't be in a relationship with me. Comprende? You know what I mean? I don't have to be in a relationship. And there's thousands of sexuals out there. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I get a loads of sexuals, like, they can't get a person for sex. It's like, go to a nightclub. It's so easy to get sex. I could get it if I wanted. I just don't want it. My strong support for you, Sam. Thank you. Eunice, I really appreciate that. I hope I pronounced your name right. But yeah, it's really, you know what I mean? It's so important. So in this group, I was getting hammered, like left, right, and centre, which obviously I can take because I'm used to it, even though it doesn't make it right. And this woman said, my son is 16 years old and he's asexual. I'm not asexual. This is a really good mother that speaks like this. She said, I'm not asexual. I love sex, but my son is, and I want to understand him better. So we've connected now and are friends outside that group. And, you know, she's going to, you know, follow some of my stuff so she can learn more about her son. And that's a very, very good mother that does that. Even though she's not asexual herself, she wants to understand her son better. And I just think that's such a loving, supportive mother who can do that. Really, really loving. And her son was in Pride as well recently. So, in another country, she's in the UK, isn't she? Yeah, she's in the UK because it's a UK group, but not everyone in the group. I don't know if everyone in this particular group, which is the other group I've joined, is in the UK. I think there's more people in the UK. But the two admins, because I got invited by an admin to that group from the other group, the other two admins, they're just having a go at me quite a lot. And it's like, you're admins, you should know better. And then they had a go at the woman that was sticking up for me, that's got an asexual son. And she was sticking up for me, whereas everyone else was, well, a lot of people were criticising me. And it's like, and yet they were telling her off. The people that were criticising me didn't get any telling off. And when she said something about the people that were criticising me, and that, you know, you shouldn't be speaking to her like that because my son's 16, I wouldn't like my son to be spoken to like that, and he's asexual. Well, the admins decided to clamp down on her, and they're like, well, don't be, you know, because I think they said she swore and stuff. I didn't even see the swearing. And they're like, so you shouldn't be doing that. And she's like, oh, so it's okay for you to criticise someone who's got different needs and wants than you know? And my son's asexual too, you know, and I wouldn't want it for him. And she said, I understand now why my son is keeps quiet about it, because this is the type of stuff, you know, flack you get basically. And I said, yeah, that many people aren't out about asexuals. There's thousands of asexuals around and go. 1% of the population, recorded 1%, is asexual. But many of the people are silent around the world because they are so damn scared of people speaking like that. I mean, you should see some of the stuff they write. I mean, I'm tough, so I can take it. I've trained myself that way. I worked, obviously, on this channel since 2015 for asexual, so I'm very, very strong and tough. You know, if you say stuff to me, it's just like, whatever, your words mean nothing, because it does not change my sexual orientation. It doesn't change who I am as a person. And, you know, that's it. My sexuality which is asexuality, is non-negotiable. I don't change for someone. I never will do. Even if someone paid me money to change my sexual orientation, I would never change it. I love being asexual. I love the fact that I can have the most purest love, thank you for the thumbs up, in the whole world without sex. I can love, live, and be happy without sex. I can just love a guy without sex. And that's amazing, because don't forget, in life, people can become disabled. They can have problems down below, which are medical. Asexuality is not medical, right? Hi, Heather. Love you, darling. Asexuality is, I'm not lesbian. It's just Heather's wonderful supporter. So I'm just saying hello as a friend, darling, to her, just to get that clear. So yeah, it's really important that you know that asexuality is respected as an actual sexual orientation in its own right. You know, it's very, very important. It's taken seriously, because there are thousands of people that are living in silence, and how many of those are trapped in a relationship where they're not really loving it because they feel that they're being forced to have sex or trying to have sex to please the other person. in actual fact, it's far easier in some ways for a guy to not have sex than it is for someone who doesn't want it to have sex, because someone who doesn't want it and is having it is called rape, usually, or sexual abuse. Someone who refrains from having sex is coming to no physical harm. They're not doing something to their body that they don't like and that's no good for them. But someone who's pushing themselves to have sex when they don't want it to please someone or because they need to get love in that way, that's actually abuse. It's like abusing yourself, and it's actually like sexual abuse. It's horrible. It's really, really, really horrible. And not every guy needs sex. You know, we're not born and pop out the womb going, oh, I need sex now. Quick, because that's not how it happens. Things like this are developed over time because societal expectations and things that are shoved down your throat in society, like you must have sex, you must have it because everyone's having it, because it's a be-all and end-all of life. Do you know what I mean? Which really isn't. I have had sex. I've had bad sex and I've had good sex in the past. I ain't having sex ever again. I'm not interested in it. It doesn't light my cup. I much prefer kissing. I always have done and I always will do. Kissing is so much physically more exciting than sex ever was for me. With my clothes on, thank you very much. I just love it. I'm going back to this guy now because this is really important. This Indian guy, which I wasn't happy. I mean, this stuff that he was talking about relationship, and then he was talking about sex, obviously, going, oh well, possibly about relationship with me, but maybe later on I'll want sex and I couldn't live without sex, right? But then if someone couldn't live without sex, there's no point in getting into a relationship with them because people will get hurt, isn't there? But the time it just went on and on and on and on and on. And he said, oh, I didn't really understand what he was saying, because this guy was kind of chopping and changing what he was saying, I thought, because he's saying, I kept telling him, well, if you get into a relationship with me, then sex is off the table. I'm not having sex. It doesn't matter how much I love a person, feel about a person, I'm not having sex, right? So I was just making that clear because he was interested, right? And then he's like, thank you for writing in detail. It's good you're being open with me. I like how you're talking or whatever. And then he went on to say, I am heterosexual and I would like to get involved in sex, but that doesn't mean sex is everything for a relationship. And without that, I can't love anyone. And this is a guy that can't love anyone without sex. But sex and love are two completely different things that most people who are heterosexual tend to put together, because society trains us that way. But love, people love each other all the time without sex. You can love someone romantically without sex. You could be in a relationship, right? Your partner goes away for a week to a foreign country. If they're monogamous, they're faithful and committed, and they do not stray despite whatever gorgeous people go their way, right? Then they are for 1 week without sex. They still love you. They haven't stopped loving you just because they don't have sex for that week, do they? And if they don't stop loving you for that week, they can love you without sex. They're not having sex with you every single second, every single day. Your bits aren't tied together. So all the times you're not having sex, even if you're not asexual, you're still loving someone without sex. But for asexuals who don't have sex, that's what it's like all the time for us in relationships when we don't have sex. It's that love all the time. It's like a vacation from sex, if you know what I mean, permanently. Because we don't need that. We don't physically, I mean, some asexuals do have sex, obviously. I had it in the past because I didn't realise I was asexual, and then after I split up with my last long-term ex, I just couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't. I dated foreign guys, 21 to 28 predominantly, but I couldn't have sex with anyone because however gorgeous I thought they looked and however aesthetically beautiful they were, I just couldn't physically have it because of something in me now just won't do it. It's just my body just won't even allow me. Even though I get aroused and excited, I just can't do it. It's just not in me. I don't feel good. I can't do it. It's like there's a subconscious force field. Like you just can't do it. It's like it's completely off limits. So this guy, and he's all about he would like to get involved in sex, but that doesn't mean sex is everything for a relationship. But he can't love without sex. So basically, he's saying sex is everything in a relationship because he can't love without sex. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, so he goes on to say, I will always respect women and you, and I don't double date or never want my other half to feel bad or won't act in such a way. So just want to be clear with you. That's why I hope it's fine with you. So I wasn't sure if he was telling me that he's heterosexual, he does get sexual feelings, and he does like sex, but it's not everything. But then he said he couldn't love without sex, meaning he would need it. So I was getting quite confused by this time. And I put, well, I can love without sex. That is the whole point of my sexuality, which is asexual. I don't experience any sexual attraction. I don't want sex in a relationship. I don't like it and don't need it. And I don't associate sex with love at all. They are two completely different things that some people like to put together. I can get aroused, but that never makes me want to have sex ever. No matter how much I love the person, sex is not love. So if you could never love me without sex and I don't want sex ever again, then you can't be suitable for me. I don't mind if a heterosexual guy could be with me and never cheat without sex, but I cannot give him sex. However much he may make me feel aroused, I get excitement out of deep tongue kissing alone without sex. Do you know what I mean? Like I reiterated, I cannot give him sex. However much he may make me feel aroused, I like kissing only with my clothes on super close. That's it. And then he's like, I understand and respect what you told, but everyone has their own choices and it's okay, no worries. And this is another thing that really makes me angry, and I'm sure it makes lots of other asexuals angry. It's like a choice. I respect your choice. Asexuality is not a choice. It's a sexual orientation that I was born with. I was given this gift from God, which I consider as a gift because I can love without sex. It's the purest form of love, in my opinion. So in my opinion, asexuality is a gift. It's not a problem that needs fixing. It's not nothing that needs a pill for. It's actually God's gift to me that I can love and have the ability to love without needing sexual intercourse. And to me, that is amazing because most humans are designed for procreation, which I'm not because I've never wanted kids since 15. So I have the benefit of that in me. Some asexuals do want kids, I'm not saying that all the asexuals are like me and they don't want kids. They're not all like me. Some do have kids, some want them, and they will have sex just to have the children because they think it's worth it, and I do understand them. So I have to say that they're not all like me, and I do respect the fact that some have children, and it's great. Emotions are noble. Oh, bless you. Thanks, Eunice. And so right, so but you know what I mean? It's just really, really bad when he's saying it's choices, because it really irritates me, because asexuality is not a choice. Abstaining from sex is a choice. Celibacy is choice. So a celibacy is usually what a lot of people have when they're religious, right? They abstain from sex for a certain amount of time, usually till they're married, because their religious beliefs is it's a sin to have sex before marriage. So they refrain from it if they're good and they really maintain that by their religion, right? Abstaining, in general, is abstaining in a relationship. So say for example, you were with someone and you didn't have sex for 4 months, you'd be like, abstaining from sex. You wouldn't be having it. So if a sexual guy was in a relationship with me, heterosexual guy, he would be abstaining from sex in a relationship with me, because he wouldn't be having it on purpose. Do you know what I mean? It would be he was not having it. Or abstaining can be when you just can't be in a relationship, like you're just single for like 2 years or whatever, and no, the right person's not come along, you don't believe in one night stands, you've not connected with anyone you want sex with, you're not a casual sex person, so until you get into a relationship you don't want sex. So even though you get sexual urges and might see people in a sexual way for like 2 years of your life while you've been single, you might not have sex, and that's abstaining as well, right? Celibacy is different in the sense that you're kind of choosing all your life to go without sex on purpose, definite from the beginning to the end of your life. Usually, I'm not saying some celibate people can't change, because they can if they want. Anyone can change in life what they want to do, can't they? But the thing is celibacy is usually connected to some sort of religion or some sort of like philosophy the person's got in their life where they just think sex is bad for them, and that's kind of it. Abstaining is when they're abstaining from sex for a reason like marriage or religious beliefs, or they're abstaining because they haven't got a partner at the time, or they just are with someone who's not having sex for a while with them, that type of thing. Do you see what I'm saying? They are different, but asexuality is the sexual orientation that's a lack of sexual attraction, meaning we don't get the need, urge, or desire for partner sexual intercourse. That doesn't mean to say some asexuals don't have sex. Some do, because they don't mind sex as an activity to do. I don't like it. I'm sex repulsed these days. I've had it in the past, but I just can't do it again. It just doesn't appeal to me. I did it because I had to. I thought I had to in the past, and now I know that I don't have to. Now I'm like, I have a choice. I'm not doing that again. Do you know what I mean? I just don't want to. I drink water out of these mugs, by the way. Anyway, so yeah, so this conversation went on with this guy, It's fine, I'm a normal guy and I don't want to force you into anything or want to say anything, because if I say, you might feel not good. Which that was quite good, but then, like, wait for it. So it's fine. So I said I was a speaker at the UK Asexuality conference last year. So I'm trying to explain to him that asexuality is real, because I went to a conference in London. I was the speaker at a conference which had up to 200 people there. If asexuality wasn't real and it wasn't a proper thing, there wouldn't be asexuals thousands around the globe, and there wouldn't be an actual conference for us. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got this asexual book out, this asexual perspectives book. If you haven't got a copy yet, do go down below, click through the Amazon link and go and grab yourself a copy, Kindle or obviously paperback. This has got, you can see I've read it a lot. This is like got 47 asexuals in, including my personal story. So you know what I mean? It's proof. There's other books out there for asexuals. I designed t-shirts for asexuals. If there was no market, if people for asexuals didn't really exist and it wasn't true, and everyone, there wasn't anyone who was like us and didn't want sex, these products wouldn't exist. We'd have no one to sell them to. So it's common sense that asexuality exists, it's real, and there's real people that don't want sex. Just most keep quiet about it, not like me. There's certain people in the world that do say stuff like I do, but we're in the minority, because a lot of asexuals, they don't feel it's people's business to say that they're asexual, because why do they need to tell someone they don't want sex? It's none of anyone's business. Whereas people like me know that we've got to speak up for everyone, and all the people that can't talk or won't talk because they're scared as well. I mean, like the woman today said if she'd had a 16-year-old son in that group, it would have been dreadful, because the amount of criticism I got and the really bad, horrible things said to me. If that was a 16-year-old son, she'd be devastated. She said that. And so I think that's a really important, I'm glad that I'm going in these groups. I'm glad I'm writing these posts. I'm glad I'm waking all these heterosexual people up to the fact there's people who don't want sex. A lot of the people, they might not like it, but they've heard about it now and it'll stick in their brain. That's a good thing. When you make posts like that, they stick in people's brain whether they like it or not. And they'll remember that post more than most posts. And at the moment, they just carry on talking comments. A lot of it's not particularly great. And so the more they carry on commenting, the more it keeps that post at the front of everyone's feed. And the more people see it, which means the more people get eyeballs on asexuality, the more people are aware that not everyone wants sex, even if they don't believe it. Some of them will Google it because they'll get curious. They'll think, what the hell is she going on about asexuality? And they'll Google it out of curiosity, and then they'll finally see, unless they completely want to blind themselves to reality. And that's what they'd say about me. They're like, oh, you're not living in reality. It's like, actually, I am living in reality. These asexuals are all around you, just keeping quiet. It's you that's not actually noticing the reality of all the reality. But everyone, whoever we are, does live in their own reality. I have to specify that. So their reality might not be asexuality exists, because they don't see it. They don't see any asexuals. And if they see someone like me, they don't believe it. So in their reality, it doesn't actually exist. Whereas in our reality, as I'm sat here now, I'm real, it does exist. Do you know what I mean? And it's very true. And I talk to asexuals around the globe, and I hold asexual meetups. I've got a meetup next weekend. So not this weekend, the following weekend, on the 27th of October. And next week is Asexual Awareness Month. So I'm going to be doing loads of videos all about asexuality, so you can learn even more about it, even though I'll cover quite a bit today. So, so this conversation carried on. So, when I said, I was a speaker at the UK Asexuality conference, he goes, it's fine. That's not what I wanted him to say. I wanted him to say, oh, right, really? There's a conference about it. Oh, it must be real then. Do you know what I mean? But no, he didn't really think that way. So he's just like, oh, I respect what you're saying. Because even am not sex is love, or sex is everything. Just say it's part of life. And I care for others and want to love a girl genuinely. So for me, it's something part of life. But if you feel good, we can message and know each other. That's all I'm saying. But I still didn't realise exactly what he was saying. It's on one hand he's saying I really respect you, and the next hand he's kind of saying, well, I he said, like, before he said, like, he cannot love someone without sex, and then he's saying sex is am not sex is love, or sex is everything, meaning sex is not everything, I think. Do you know what I mean? So it's very contradictory. And I said, I'm looking for a relationship. Are you not looking for a relationship with me? as I just said, we started messaging. I want both people to know each other, and that's main thing in relationships, or understanding each other. And as I said, I'm a heterosexual guy and don't know if I can stay without forever in my life. So it's fine with you then, but just want to be honest. So it sounds to me like he wanted to be in a relationship with me potentially, but accept the fact that he probably wouldn't be with me forever and he'd eventually need to go and have sex somewhere else. I don't see the point in starting a relationship like that. What's the point? It just hurts people when you become emotionally attached to each other. Do you know what I mean? Because it's bound to. And it's unless you're a cold-hearted person who doesn't get emotionally attached to anyone. So I said, well, I'm not looking for a temporary relationship. I'm not. I may as well stay single. I have so much fun being single. I put I understand, but have you read what I have said? I didn't understand what he said. Because I'm not like some guys going behind others. And if there is a mutual respect and I feel they are good, I want to message and know each other. Ha ha, fortunately, I don't want to be fixed. I'm Christian and Pablo practiced chastity. And he said it will be better if we focus all our life in God. Biblical, of course, not new age, satanic. Oh, well, hello, Unpoco. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Big kiss to you as well. So this guy is saying, oh, we can know each other and understand well, but if it's for a relation, if we're both willing and okay, but regarding my sexual feelings, I want you to know that's all. Just want to be honest with you, Sandra, that's why. And I still don't get what he's talking about. I don't know if he's saying my sexual feelings, I've got them, but it's okay if we know each other more, it might be okay. Or if he's saying, well, you know my sexual feelings, they're not going to change, so if you're with me, you're going to have sex. So I still wasn't totally understanding. I said, I understand you are heterosexual and not sure if you could be in a relationship without sex ever. I didn't understand after that what you meant. I'm not sure if you meant we should get to know each other and then understand each other and maybe have a relationship, but I won't change my mind on sex as I don't enjoy it. I don't mind if you're sexually attracted to me so long as you didn't expect me to have sex with you. And that's the thing. Some asexuals do mind if a guy gets sexually attracted to them. I don't mind if a guy gets sexually attracted to me. If I'm with a heterosexual guy, for example, I'm being very crude now, very, very blunt now. If his penis ends up rising because he's snogging me, right, which is natural arousal, I don't mind that so long as he doesn't expect me to see it, have it in me, and I don't need it, it can be clothed. Do you know what I mean? Keep it clothed. Don't need it in me. Don't put it in me. Don't put it in me. Do you know what I mean? Keep it in your pants. I don't want to see that. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's okay if he has the erection in his pants because that's kind of normal for a heterosexual guy and he's going to be himself. And if he's sexually attracted to me, well, that's great because I like, if he's sexually attracted to me, but I don't actually want him to have intercourse with me, if that makes sense. But I think it's important if you are with a heterosexual person, you accept that they will get naturally aroused. It's part of the process for them. And so I don't have a problem with the guy being that way, so long as you don't expect me to do anything about him. Finish the job, if you know what I mean. And so this guy's then saying, I don't know about relationship and marriage is later. Do you see what I mean? I've said even in the post, I don't want to get married. So he's not paying attention to me. And I don't know about relation, but marriage is later. So maybe by then we'll decide how I feel, but I can't guarantee now if I will stop having sex. But that's later part of relation. I was like to engage in sexual activity later. Do you see what I'm saying? So basically he's saying, I could possibly be in a relationship with you, but I want to have sex later. And then especially if we get married, that's what he's trying to say. And I'm like, do you know what I mean? That's another reason why I definitely don't want to get married anyway. But that's another reason why I don't want to be tied to a sexual person who expects sex. I'd rather, I want to be free. So if they do decide they want to do that, it's like, bye, okay, off you go. I'll get someone else or stay single. Do you know what I mean? But that's, later part of relationship. But I would like to engage in sexual activity later. But I respect what you're saying at the same time. And so it's like, we're clearly not compatible, are we? But it's later, I will respect you and want you to have a good connection with you and feel you're good. That's why. So do you see what I mean? It's very mixed signals. It's saying, I'm interested in a relationship with you. I want to message you, get to know you, but then I want sex later. And so it's like, you're not understanding what I'm saying, that I'm never going to have sex. I said, I can't do sex later. I don't want kids. And I'm looking for a life partner. And he's like, sex doesn't mean kids, right? Well, it does actually if contraception doesn't work or you don't use it. So I have a friend from school and she had contraception, right? She was using it and it didn't work. And at 17 years old, she got pregnant. So not all contraception works. And obviously many asexuals don't have sex and a few asexuals may try sex. So it's something you really do need to know. The contraception doesn't necessarily work all the time. So if you are having sex, be prepared to be a dad or a mother, right? Because if you're not prepared that, don't bother doing it, quite frankly, with you. Do you know what I mean? It's what's the point? If you're not going to stay with the person, what's the point? You just break the kid's heart if you end up with an accident, don't you? It's not good. It's not good. So I said, I don't like sex. I'm looking for a guy to be faithful to me. It's for me, I feel part of life and I understand your stance, but just want you to know me. And I said, so how can we be compatible for a relationship then? And he's like, well, if you feel I'm good, you will be able to understand me. Understand him as in the sense what he wants sex and I don't. This doesn't change anything, does it? I feel anyway these days it's easier for girls to get guys, which I thought was quite a very interesting comment. So even if you stop messaging me, you can get other guys, but I'm just saying because I want because to know someone is hard and I don't know how to answer your question, but we'll see. And I put, yeah, I get lots of guys messaging me, which is absolutely true. I think I've had about at least 11 today. And most of them I deleted because I'm not interested in spending and wasting my time talking about sex and stuff. And it is easy for me to get a sexual guy. And many guys want sex with me, but I'm different and looking for a special relationship without sex. And I think it's so true, right? It's so easy to get sex. I mean, that's why I can't see why most people want it. It's kind of like, it's easy. It's that easy. It's boring, surely. I mean, obviously I don't like sex anyway, but surely it's that easy. It's just boring. Anyone can have a relationship with sex. It's not difficult. The difficult bit is loving someone without sex. Well, it's not difficult for asexuals, but and it's actually being the best friend and soulmate and being with each other through thick and thin like best friends, you know, and respecting the other person for who they are and not expecting them to do everything for you. Like, I can take care of myself in my own home. I don't need a guy financially looking after me. But I don't expect him to expect me to do the housework, cook and clean for him because I'm not interested in that. Right? If I have my own place, do my own thing, he can have his own place, do his own thing, and we can meet up and be happy together without all the blooming worry about bills and all the rubbish about being together, watching different TV programs. So I don't even watch the TV. So you can have your own separate things that you enjoy doing that come together for lots of kisses, cuddles, and good days. I think it's a good idea. So, but did you know as well, there was a survey done in the paper years ago in the UK, and 10% of the UK population at that time had a living apart together relationship where they didn't live together. And that is predominantly heterosexuals, obviously, because it's a survey done in the UK and most people are heterosexual. So it's not just asexual people that some asexuals that don't want to live together. It's 10% of the UK population. This was a few years ago, so I'd like to know the statistics really. But I have known couples who came into my job when I used to manage a furniture company who were looking for bedroom furniture and they lived separately. They wanted furniture for both different places. And one couple was married. So it's not just about like everyone has to live together. You know, a lot of people can't live together happily because they've got different standards, they've got different expectations, they've got different things they like around the home, they've got TV programs one wants to watch, one doesn't, one disturbs the other's sleep. It's just a nightmare. These heterosexuals want to change you. It's not possible with you asexual. Exactly, Heather. Exactly right. This is what the video is about. These people shouldn't be trying to change me. They can't change me, you know. So this guy, Karen Corkin, I said it's not about if you want sex or not. It's about finding the right person, even if he wants. So him, it's fine. I get it. Because people will have a relation to date others and people only realise how they are once something bad happens. Anyway, I've told you my stance. But if I would like to talk to you if that's okay. So, oh, hi, Normal. Nice to see you. And so I put, I'm on asexual dating sites, but not found the right asexual guy for me yet. So there are others like me, but most asexual guys don't like much kissing. And I need that in a relationship. I even know asexual Indian guys, but mostly they live in India, right? So sure we can talk. So what did you read in my post that made you want to connect with me, right? Because obviously he hasn't really read my post fully. Okay, so you're on dating site now. It's like, well, yeah, I've been on dating sites for many years, since 2014. Do you know what I mean? I also do a lot of work for asexuals. So yeah, but I put, yeah, I've been on asexual dating sites since 2014, but not found the right guy for me, and I stay on there anyway because I help other asexuals. It's part of my job. And then this guy's put, fine, I don't know much about it. You need to know who to choose. With a partner, I mean. Oh, Heather, I would want to live in separate places in the same town with a partner, I mean. Yes, I totally agree with you, Heather. That's what I want. I'd love the guy to come and live near me in the UK if they don't already live in the UK. I'd love them to live just around the corner from me. So we're here for each other. We can see each other, but we don't live together in the same space because I like my own things. I like Frozen stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm a Disney girl. I like my own stuff. I don't want to be having, like all guy stuff around me all the time. I like my, duvet covers and stuff and really nice, pretty things. And I like the fact that my home's suitable for my height as well because I'm short. And I like the fact that I can go to sleep at 3 or 4 in the morning, which is quite common for me. And I don't disturb the guy and he doesn't start moaning at me going, I'm so tired, you're being so selfish, I'm tired and I can't sleep. It's like, well, I told you I can't sleep in the same room anyway. I don't need a guy sleeping in the same room or bed with me. And I want to stay up because it's part of my life that I enjoy. I don't want to be in sleep all the time, and especially not at times it doesn't suit me. I'm sat there like a lemon, not being able to sleep. It's not a good life. It's a horrible life, So I want to make sure that I'm living life to the max. And it's a life that I really thoroughly enjoy and want. A partner should enhance your life, in my opinion, and make it as good as you make it yourself or better. If they're not doing that, then it's no point in having them as your partner because you'll just be miserable. I lead such a good single life. I so much enjoy my single life that it's going to be hard for me to be in a relationship because a lot of the guys, they're not going to be able to give me what I want. They're going to be expecting something that I can't give them or want something that I don't want to give them. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to cook or clean for a guy. If he wants to come around my place, he can bring his own food and cook it himself. Why do I need to do that? Ray and Tundra, one lady asked me today, what do I find sexy? I said my new arrows are. Oh, Ray, that's such an asexual thing to say. Love you for that. It's so good. I agree with you, Ray. Your arrows are sexy because they light you up and make you feel great about yourself. That's what sexy is all about, isn't it? It's not about boobs and butts. It's about what makes you feel great, what makes you feel excited and happy. That's really what sexy is. But people just automatically think boobs and breasts and buttocks and everything else, don't they? But I love that, Ray. I really love your answer. That's a really, 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 really very asexual, cool answer. I absolutely adore that answer. So it's really, really, this guy anyway, it goes on and on. I'm not going to carry on reading everything because it's just going to go on and on. But I want you to hear this because this is a bit to do with the pill, right? Then he starts going about, because I said that because he's on about, have you had sex before? Which I didn't have to answer. No, he said, are you a virgin? I'm just asking to know, nothing else, right? So I told him the truth that I have had sex with 5 guys in my past, good and bad sex, because that's my past. It doesn't, I haven't had sex since 2011. I'm really glad about that. And so he said, so you did have sex with multiple guys then? I mean, it's 5 in my lifetime. But I'm not telling you my birth certificate age because it's got nothing to do with who I am. But it's like 5 in my lifetime. It's not many considering, really. And one guy I was with quite a long time. Do you know what I mean? Like one guy, I think I only did it like 3 times with him. It's like, I just wasn't interested. It's just like ridiculous. You know what I mean? And so, he seems to not like the fact. So he said, no, it's actually because of disturbance the next guy you date, because thinking won't be able to, and you're engaged in that activity with your previous partner. So he's basically saying that it doesn't, it's not good for a guy who you won't have sex with him, but you would have it with previous partners. So he's trying to use the kind of tactic or brain thought of that, that could be seen as just him being a bit emotionally she did that with other people but not me. But it could also turn into manipulation, so you got to be very, very careful about stuff like that, because you don't want a guy saying, well, you had it with past boyfriends. I only had sex with one person. I'm now 14 years without. Good for you, Ray. Yeah Definitely sound asexual to me, Ray. Yeah. It's yeah, I mean, people don't realize, I was in 2 long-term relationships, and the other guys, like one guy was the first guy I lost my virginity to at 16 years old because I was coerced into it, really. Oh, everyone's having it my age, and I felt I was going to lose him. I didn't have self-love then, but I do now. So I don't have to have sex, do you know what I mean? And so and after 6 months, he dumped me anyway. Had sex and dumped me. It's like, well, how's that nice? Do you know what I mean? It's horrible. He was older than me, and so do you know what I mean? It's like 5. Really, it's not. I mean, obviously, it's more than you, Ray. But I mean, I've had a lot of boyfriends. But I said to him, like, not all partners I've had, boyfriends I've had sex with. Because I used to be in relationships as a teenager as well. I had my first relationship at 6 years old, actually. So theoretically, I've been in heterosexual relationships since I was 6. But obviously, do you know what I mean? I wasn't having intercourse when I was 6, thank God. He wanted me to do other stuff which I didn't like. But yeah, so do you know what I mean? It's just like I've been in relationships a lot. I don't do relationships as a whole now because I haven't found the right person. So what's the point? Until I found the right person, is there? Right, and so this is when it gets really rude. Sorry, that like how it happened. Like, have you checked with doctors or medication for that? So this is what I mean. Like, oh, Ray, I was 32 when I had my first. Oh, when you had your first partner. You're never too old to have a partner. That's what I think. And I think sometimes it's better to be single. Like, I do like my single life so much because I don't have anything to worry about. I don't have to worry about a guy cheating on me because I got no guy to be with. Do you know what I mean? It's brilliant for me. That's the thing I do love about my singleness. I go to the cinema whenever I want. Oh yeah, I'm booked in for a self date this Saturday morning as well. Can't wait. I'm going to see a film. I'm going to do a movie review as well for you guys because I love it. I love self dating, and I have no guy to worry about him cheating, not physically or emotionally with another woman. I don't have to worry about him being online all the time and Facebooking every other woman that he's probably got his eye on. And do you know what I mean? And I just can chill out and not worry about a bloke. Do you know what I mean? So from that point of view, I'd rather stay single, which is why, I sometimes 50-50 on it. 50% I want a relationship, 50% I don't. And when you hear this stuff like this, like, oh, have you checked with doctors or medication for that? Do you know what I mean? It's just so horrible. Like, I've got a problem with me because I don't want sex. It's like, no, I haven't got a problem. I don't want sex just because I'm asexual, but some asexuals can choose to have sex even though their asexuality is not a choice. Do you know what I mean? And so it's just really annoying. And I said, I don't take meds for fibromyalgia. That's what I started talking about. And he's like, oh, why don't you? If you're able to get relief from that, that's good, right? And I'm like, it's an unseen disability for life that I manage super well using the power of my mind and eating the right foods. I still love my life to max despite fibro and go out dancing. Although I am not well at the moment and have an infection and I'm taking tablets for that and got to have a blood test next week. I'm scared of blood tests and needles, which is true. And it's like, oh, we have more freedom. Exactly, Ray. You have more freedom as a single person. I think you have more freedom in your mind as a single person. Like, you don't have to worry about anything but yourself. You take care of yourself financially. You eat what you want when you want. You don't have to worry about someone putting stuff in your shopping trolley. You can't afford it because you want some different foods. I think I personally like bills to be kept separate. People, I don't like shared bills. I've had that in the past. I hate it. It's like I'd rather live in my own place, support myself financially, have my own money, do what I want when I want, and not answer to anyone. And if I'm having a relationship, it should be based on love, trust, honesty, faithfulness, and looking after your, self. I don't mind looking after a guy's heart and looking after him emotionally, but I don't want him to expect I'm a housewife. People put a certain age on sex. Yes, Heather, I agree. It's probably like when they pop out of the mother's womb. But yeah, such a strong, independent woman that you are, San. Oh, thank you, Eunice. Yeah, I'm really strong and independent. Really strong and independent because I don't, I believe we're on this planet Earth just once, right? Just once. And if we live our life for other people, we are not living life as our true, authentic self. We'll be unhappy, right? Some people are like, oh, but if you love a partner, you'll want to cook and clean for them. It's like, no, because I hate cooking and cleaning in and of itself. Whether I'm doing it for a partner or for anyone or anything, I don't like it. It's not going to make me like it just because I'm doing something. I actually end up resenting it because it's doing something that's wasting my time. I buy paper plates so I don't have any plates to wash up. Afterwards I eat, I chuck them in the bin. That cuts down on washing up, saves some washing up liquid. It also cuts down on some water because I've got less water to use. And the main benefit is I don't have plates to wash up, which is a lot. The least amount of washing up I can do, the better. Because I absolutely hate washing up, right? But I do it. You want a partner, not to be a mother. Exactly, Ray. You're right. I strongly agree with your words. Thank you, Eunice. Yeah, exactly, Ray. I want to be a partner, not a mother. But most guys want a mother. I mean, obviously, like I like Indian guys quite a lot, but they expect sex, marriage, kids, and a woman to cook and clean for them. It's like, no, that's not how I work. I mean, I do a lot of business stuff. I'm building websites. I'm blogging. I'm vlogging. I'm doing writing. I'm living my dreams and my passions. Why would I want to do all that stuff for a guy and it takes me away from what excites me, what thrills me? Because surely he falls in love with me because I'm independent, because I'm passionate, because I'm doing my blogging, because I'm not stuck in the kitchen washing up and stuff like that, because I don't like to live that life. Do you know what I mean? Loads of guys do. They would rather have someone like that than me to be in a relationship with, because they want the housewife, the woman that will cook and clean for them and look after them in that way, because it's traditional. And so if they choose to be with me or to be with a woman, they pick that woman. Not because she's exciting, she's going to be quite boring, but because she'll do all the things that a guy wants to do, which is basically not much when he gets home from work, but has his food on the table and is cooked, is cleaned up afterwards. But that's not who I am. I will never be that type of girl. I am bored with that type of life. I've had that life in the past and never again. I was the most miserable person. And life is too short. I do have fibromyalgia, and it does change your life because you realise life is so short. Like, people with fibromyalgia, it's a chronic pain condition that affects the nerves and muscle body. I manage it super well. I have a ton of energy, which is not normal for a person with fibro. And I block out a lot of the pain using the power of my mind, but it's still there. And in a relationship, it comes back more. You can feel it more, because if I cuddle a guy, because obviously I'm only attracted to guys, if he puts his arm around my neck, I like it romantically, but it can hurt my neck because he's on a pressure point. So I have to ask him to take his hand off my neck and stuff like that, even though I might like it being on there romantically, because I might find close to him. I have to put myself first. I like having the bed to myself, because if he gets on my pressure points or anywhere near them, I can't sleep for the whole night. I just can't. And I like a lot of room in bed. That's why I have a double bed to myself, because I can't sleep usually in front of a guy. A friend said to me, you never get a girlfriend with all the bows and arrows on the wall and the crossbows. I said, what makes you think I want one? Yes, but Ray, there are people in my asexual dating groups. I'm sure you can probably, or even on, even a friend you could probably get. But yeah, you don't need a woman. You're quite sufficient on your own, and you've got your dog, which is beautiful. She's a good. I think it's a she, isn't it, Tundra? She's a good girlfriend to you. Less hassle as well in a lot of ways. But and yeah, it's exactly, you don't have to. You don't have to get a girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? But there are asexuals that that might be interested in a relationship with you, because you've got a lot going for you. You work in a like you help rehome animals, don't you? You teach disabled children. Oh, it's a he, is it? Oh, sorry, you got a boyfriend. Sorry. Doggy boyfriend. Oh well. But sorry, it's a she. I do apologize. I'm sorry. Sorry to your doggy as well. Your doggy is beautiful. Really, really nice. Really, really nice. But yeah, I mean, people take it for granted that everyone wants a relationship. Like I would like a relationship because I'm really super romantic, love kissing and all that lot, and I would like to meet my soulmate. But I'm very happy and self-sufficient on my own, and usually it's a lot less hassle for me, because I have to worry about another guy going around cheating and chatting up loads of other women, which a lot of them do. Even some asexuals, they can be going around chatting up loads of women, and it's like, why? So anyway, this guy goes on and on and on. And so what does he think? Oh, this is it. I didn't like this at all. Sandra, listen, just make sure you're fine first, because if you're healthy, only it matters. And I know I have seen people who are scared of medication, etc. But you need to try at least, and you'll be able to do well later on. So please, you need to control and overcome things, like the asexual thing you achieved. So even these things matter. So basically, this is what I absolutely hated. He's just said that about medication. Like, he's saying that I'm scared of medication, but I should take medication to control and overcome my asexuality. And I just think that's one of the most belittling, nasty things a person can say to an asexual person. It's basically kind of manipulating you into saying, well, you've got something wrong with you need to take medication for this so you can control it and overcome it. And if you don't, you're not being good with yourself, because you're not taking medication for something that can help you. So you're being a bad person. And that is just so manipulative. I see that as very manipulative. I see that as someone who's manipulating you into basically saying you should have sex and you're not having sex with me and I'd want it with you. And the reason you're having sex because you won't take your medication for it. I mean, that just reminds me of some psycho guys who try and tell women they're crazy and they should be medicating, when really it's the guy causing them to be crazy in the first place. Do you know what I mean? You know those type of guys, right? The psychopaths, the sociopaths, the narcissists in particular. They literally twist what the woman says to make it seem like the woman's crazy and that she's doing herself a disfavor by not doing X, Y, and Z, and so she should be doing it, right? That's very, 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 very bad, right? Obviously, there is a language problem here, so I have to take that into consideration, but it's still bad what he's saying. I don't like that at all. And then he's saying, and then he's saying, I'm happy to know you, and I guess it's pretty late, so you may be fine, and please try to take medication for God's sake, so you'll be fine and be better for you. Small changes can lead to big things. It's just really, really horrible. Like, small changes can lead to big things, but taking medication is not good for the body when you don't need it. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. And I just want to stick up for all asexuals and say, it is a sexual orientation. It's not something we need to be fixed with a pill. And, you get these guys sometimes, right? And they're going, oh, if I have sex with you, it'll be so good that you'll be cured. It's like, no, it's not a cure. You can't, even if you had sex with me, which I don't want, you wouldn't stop me being asexual. He thinks it's not normal the way we are. I know, Ray, he thinks it's not normal, but trying to tell someone to medicate it's just disgusting. You know what I mean? So I put, there is nothing to overcome, because he's going, I'm just saying, just take up the initiative and you can overcome this, But yeah, I do agree. You're saying it's not normal and I've got a problem. It's like, I don't have a problem. I put, there is nothing to overcome. I categorically do not want sex ever. It's a bit like bashing your head against the brick wall. It's like, I've told you I don't want sex. I've told you it's a sexual orientation. You're not listening to me. Do you know what I mean? Drives you absolutely crazy. It's like, I categorically do not want sex. So please look for another girl who can give you sex. I love being asexual in sexual orientation. I love it. I wouldn't choose it. I don't want to have sex. I don't want to feel sexual urges in that way towards another person. I don't like it. I don't want it. Do you know what I mean? Even if I could change it, I wouldn't. I love being asexual in sexual orientation. It's who I am and was born to me. Just I didn't know it in my past. There is no medication for asexuality. I hate sex. I wish good luck in your search for a sexual girl you can easily find. I mean, that's the thing, right? Sometimes I don't understand why these guys are in all these sexual dating groups. I'm like, it's easy to get sex. If you want sex, go out to a nightclub, pub or whatever, and go out, go find a girl who actually wants sex and go and do it together. Do you know what I mean? It's not difficult. They should take care of their own selves and what's right for them before thinking about what's good for others. Never listen to the opinions that you don't like. Just ignore. Thank you, Nunes. Yes. And it's like, and the next day, yeah, what else did I say? There is no medication. I hate sex. You should take medication. That's what I said to him. You should take medication to stop wanting sex. That would be good. Do you know what I mean? Because that's like equal, If they want me to take a pill for my asexuality because I think there's something wrong, well, they should take a pill for their heterosexuality to stop sexual urges then, and to to just stop it. Do you know what I mean? Just, it's equal then, isn't it? You take a pill to cure you of your sexual urges. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just wrong, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I put good luck, you're not the guy for me. So the next morning he's still talking to me, going, hi Sandra, how are you doing? Haha, you should take medication for stop wanting it. What an answer. Thank you. Thank you, Eunice. But it's true, isn't it? If some guy say that to me, I'm like, well, you should take a pill to stop wanting sex. What's wrong with that? Do you know what I mean? Because maybe you've got a problem that you've got sexual urges and you weren't born like that. So as over the years you've developed these sexual urges, which are not good because you weren't naturally born with that. So these sexual urges aren't natural. So you should take a pill for it. Do you know what I mean? You could easily change it round to that way of thinking. As no one pops out the womb from their mum and goes, hey, I want sex. I want it now. It just doesn't happen. You know, so usually not wanting sex comes before actually wanting sex later on. Do you know what I mean? No one wants sex initially. So which one actually comes first? The no sex one. Love without sex comes first. And then people have hormones going on and then they get the sexual urges. So I actually think that it's the opposite way to what everyone else thinks, you know? And so, look, he's still saying again, I understand him, like, I respect your choice. Can I message you as a friend then? Feel you're good, that's why. You know, and this, you know, like, it's very difficult for me to be friends with just an Indian guy because I usually get really attracted to them. And it's not like this guy's in the same country as me. So I just didn't answer that message, right? And then, it's about 35 minutes later, I decided to message me again. Hi, how are you, by the way? How was your day? Fine. I understand, no worries. And sorry, yesterday I felt sleepy and I had morning lecture. That's why I went offline. Can I talk to you? It's true, yeah. I'm still laughing at your answer. You destroyed him. Oh, bless you. To be honest, I don't even think he noticed I said it, though. That's the thing. But yeah. And I put, I'm working at the moment. This was Wednesday. And he's like, oh, hi. Okay, sorry, didn't know. Like, you do night shift or so. When your work will be over, by the way. So he still wants to carry on talking to me when he's actually messaged me again tonight, which I haven't looked at yet because I've been talking to you on here. So I put, hi, okay, sorry, didn't know, like you. And then he's giving you a morning message for some guy who's supposed to be not interested in a relationship with me anymore and just friendship. He's messaging me in the morning. Now, normally when a guy gives you a morning text, it's because you're the first thing he's thought about when he wakes up. That's what romantic guys do usually. If they're thinking about a girl when they've gone to sleep, they wake up in the morning, the first thing they will do is usually text that girl because it's been on their mind. That's like traditional kind of like behavior when they're kind of feeling romance or something. Do you know what I mean? So like I didn't answer him after that, right? Because he could have left it all day, but no, before he went off to his studies, he decided at 8:41, hi, morning, how are you? How was your work yesterday? Is it okay to message you? Right? And this is today, actually, because I didn't reply. Right, okay. So this is my long message to him, which I wrote at 9:08 this morning, because I was pretty fuming, to be honest. And I thought, I'm not going to just sit there and say nothing, because I'm still connected to this guy as a friend. I could unfriend him. I could block him. And do I give him a choice and chance to say sorry and see if he actually steps up to the plate and say, I'm really sorry. I understand that you're angry because I made you feel really bad about your sexual orientation. Or is he just going to gloss over it and pretend like it never happened? Or is he going to keep saying, it's your choice and I respect that, which means he doesn't respect it because he doesn't even understand it's not a choice, right? So this is why I said now. I had just over 2 hours sleep and still have work to finish. This was this morning and this was totally true, right? I am up. So I told him how I felt because I thought, tell him how you feel and that gives him the chance to put things right, right? So I put, I'm upset with you disrespecting my sexual orientation, saying about me taking a pill to basically fix my asexuality. This is not a nice person who says this to me and there is nothing to be fixed. I don't want sex even if someone paid me for it. I hate it for me and looking for love without sex, pure love. So far, I have found 2 male asexuals in that UK singles group, Ray being one of them, who's in this chat. Unfortunately, Ray's older than I would actually be in a relationship with, but he's absolutely adorable guy anyway. We're good friends. He's a really nice person. So far I put, I have actually put sorry, I have to. One of the rescue dogs is having a fit. Oh, go, Ray, go. Don't stay with me. Go. Off here. Sort your dog out. Most important. God, I hope he's going to be all right. Yeah, just go. Rescue dogs are always more important than me. Don't be on. Yeah, take care. Off you go. Off you go. Dog first. Always. I love animals. Always. Go. Bye. See you soon. Hope it'll be fine. Oh my God. I used to have a what was it, Yorkshire Terrier, and that used to have fits, and you have to literally hold them. Well, my mum used to do most of the holding because they can knock into furniture, fires they can go into, and all sorts of stuff. It's horrible. Epileptic fits it was. It's really not nice. Ray's lovely because he rescues like dogs, and he even takes them to his home until they're rehomed, and it's a really nice person that does that. You see, that's what a kind, caring person's about. So anyway, I'm still talking about this, right? And so, right, okay. So far, I have found 2 male asexuals in that UK singles group. Just take a look at the comments on my post and look at Daniel and Ray, because obviously Ray's just gone. So that's what I said. And I put, so why should I be friends with a guy who is interested in a romantic relationship with me, but who cannot love me without sex, and who makes me feel bad about myself so he could get sexual pleasure later on? A guy who is celibate chooses to abstain from sex. Does everyone ask him to take a pill to fix him? No, that is not love or friendship, but it is his choice. Asexuality isn't a choice. It's a sexual orientation I was born with and didn't realise about me. It's not a choice, just like you are heterosexual. You don't choose that, but you could choose to abstain if you wanted. I could choose to have sex if I wanted it, but I don't want it. I should not have someone saying bad things to me to get it from me. I don't have a problem with it. I love being asexual and love being able to purely love without sex. If someone who does not want sex gets manipulated into having it by another person making them feel bad if they don't, it's sexual abuse. That is a choice. You can choose to mind manipulate someone but by telling them to take a pill or not. I liked you romantically, but not with this type of talk. And I may be a good person, but it's not a good person who says these things to me. If you Google asexuality, you'll find there are thousands of people like me, and there are some heterosexuals even who can love without sex, even on YouTube. If you look at YouTube, there are some sexual guys in relationships with asexuals, and they tell us, they have an interview with them saying how they can love and be in a relationship with an asexual without sex. So it is possible that some sexuals do have relationships with asexuals and they don't have sex. It is actually possible. Obviously, it's not going to be, some people aren't going to want that. A large proportion don't. But I actually know someone who's married to an asexual and doesn't have sex with them, who's not asexual, but they didn't realise their partner's asexual till after they got married. So that's a bit different. I liked you romantically, but not with this type of talk. And I may be a good person, but it's not a good person who says these things to me. I've already said that, and I've said about Googling asexuality. So I also said, in India, many guys have sex, marriage, and kids. I want none of that. Only a life partner. Some Indian guys are asexual, and I put some Indian guys are asexual and have to marry to please their parents and end up sad if they are with a sexual girl when they don't want sex. You should Google India and asexuality. And I haven't read. What's they saying? Hi, Sandra. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, right. Now he's saying, what's he saying? Right, okay. So he's saying, I didn't mean it anyway. Like I told you when we first talked, I respect your stance. It's fine. Just I said about pill because when you told me about your condition, so felt if you take medication, the pain, or you can feel better. That's all I meant. Please, I'm not someone who disrespects anyone or any act such way. Fine if you want to be like that. It's okay with me. Just felt good talking to you, that's all. And I'm not like others who see for anything. Just see me as a good person at least. So he's trying to say now that it was for my condition he was talking about, as in my pain condition. But I did say to him, I can't have I've got fibromyalgia, which means it's very difficult for me to have sex anyway. That's what I said, which I missed out talking to you. And then he's like, that's when he started going on about medication as well for asexuality and medication for that. And it's like, well, I don't take medication for fibro. You know, there are people who do take medication for fibro and they still can't have sex because it hurts them too much with or without the pain medication. So a lot of the time the pain medication don't even work. And I have less pain than people who take pain medication. Do you know what I mean? So have to see how that progresses. I don't know. It's very difficult with the language, isn't it? You know, I mean, he didn't say sorry, he just said he didn't mean it like that. It would have been better if he said sorry. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, I would like to get to know an Indian guy in the UK, but is it worth really getting to know someone like that who's already telling me to take medication for my asexuality? Do you know what I mean? It's a bit, yeah. I mean, I think he's only just come to this country because, from what I can gather, he's like, he only just come here for study, as far as I know. So he's probably not even going to be staying long term anyway. But yeah, as far as I know, he's come for study. So he's only been here like a few days by the look of it, less than a week, I think. So so maybe, I mean, he's not going to be used to the culture anyway. But in telling me to take medication for my asexuality is absolutely ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah. But yes, so but I do get very, very angry for people who are asexual and this does happen to take a pill. I mean, the other thing is, oh, have sex with me and I'll fix you because you haven't had good sex, obviously, because you haven't had sex with me. And it's like, no, really, I have had good sex, but I really would still prefer the kissing because I always preferred the kissing. I'm not interested in the sex. Do you know what I mean? My ex was good at that because of all the other stuff he did. Which was a bit before sex, which is much better for me. So I wasn't really interested in the sex. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I just think it's really bad when people think they can fix you, when people think they can give you pills. I don't take pills anyway. I don't take pills for anything unless I can help it. But I have taken pills recently, antibiotics, because I've had an infection. So I take antibiotics and that's it. I don't take any more pills. I don't take any pills for fibro or anything like that, you know? I only take pills if I absolutely have to. And now I'm on prebiotic stuff to try and put the bugs back in my body. And I've got blood tests next week. Do you know what I mean? Which I hate because I've got a fear of needles and blood. Don't let their opinion activate your nerves. Don't get angry. Just ignore, as I told you. Yeah. I mean, do I bother still being friends with that guy or not? And see what happens, because it is Asexual Awareness Week and I'm going to be doing live. I'm going to want to go live on Facebook as well, and I want to go live on Facebook as well and do some videos on there about asexuality for Asexual Awareness Week. It's really, really important. But yeah, I know what you say about ignoring. Look, usually like in groups I ignore them. I hope you will get some positive news when you will get your medical results. Oh, thank you, Eunice. Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I haven't had a blood test for years, like about 7 years, because I'm literally got a fear of needles and blood. Like, I can't stand it at all, right? I can't stand it. I don't like any type of pain. Like my fibromyalgia is a pain condition, like I live with every day, day in, day out, and I block a lot of it out with the power of my mind. But I do have pain in like my arms, neck, back, you know, like the pelvic area, the bit down below, all that type of place is my worst effect area, and legs. And so, but I do exercises quite a bit, just a few, because if you do too many with fibro, it can hurt you and cause you more damage, because exercise in general isn't good for fibro per se. But I like to do all these exercises, a few exercises to keep all my body strong. So next month is your freedom from sex anniversary. Oh yes, it is, Heather. No, this month's my freedom from sex anniversary. Next month's my freedom from mental prison anniversary. You've got a good memory. So this month is the last time I had sex, like in 2011. So I can't remember the exact date. I didn't note it down in my diary, but it was in October because my ex split up with me in November the 5th. And it was definitely in October. I think it was partway through, in the middle of the month. We always used to not get on in October every year for some reason. It was really weird. That was a month after their birthday. But it was October. I remember that in 2011. That's the last time. So I have been sex free for 8 years. 8 years. Wow, that's good going. And then next month is my freedom from mental prison because my ex was abusive. So I don't have that to deal with anymore. Thank God. And so that will be my 8 years free from mental prison. And that's why I love being single so much. I've never been happier than when I've been single, to be honest. I'd much rather stay single forever than ever be with a guy like that ever again. So it's really, really important that, it's really, really important that you just be you in life, really, and live your life to the max. It's really, really important. That can't say it, stress it enough, But and when you have stuff like that, I was saying earlier as well, with fibromyalgia, with it being a chronic pain condition, it does change my life. It changed my life in 2012. I'm not depressed anymore because I used to suffer with depression for years. And literally, I just stopped being depressed because I realised that if I was negative, carried on being negative, then my body would have so much pain that I could end up on crutches or in a wheelchair. So the worst case scenario for someone with fibromyalgia is you can end up on crutches or in a wheelchair. Like, I don't like to think about that because I'm a bubbly, energetic girl and I like to live life to max, but it does put life into complete perspective. Now, I don't do anything I don't like. That's another reason why I don't do housework. I do minimal housework for myself. I don't do dusting. My parents are like, oh my God. I just like all, like shelves above. I live in a really like an old Victorian house. The ceilings are so high. I don't dust up there. What's the point? I don't even watch TV. So unless I watch TV, unless I watch a movie on the TV, I don't even dust. It's no point. It's just like whatever. I'm just not interested. And because I think life is so short. Because if I ever did get to that state, which I don't want to be in, I want to make sure I've lived my life to the complete max before that happens. So I've done everything I can and lived every single good life, And so, to be honest, standing at the sink doing washing up does hurt, He's messaging me now, this guy. It's really funny. Do you see what I mean? He obviously does like me. So that's why it's really important, because even standing doing the washing, it still hurts. I don't want to live a life of pain, so I just I literally leave I live on my own anyway. I don't go in my kitchen much, and I literally leave my washing up in the sink for about 3 or 4 days and do it all at once. My parents are like so cringing if they come over. They're like, "Oh, how can you do that?" I'm like, because I'm single, I live on my own, and I do it in one go because it's called time blocking. So how you manage your life more efficiently is you block time out to do something. So if I'm, for example, working on a website, it's good for me to block out the whole evening to do one website till I've finished it, or a day or so, because once you start going at something or doing something, it's better to carry on doing something and block out that time. Otherwise you get distracted. Like tomorrow, I've got to do a video. I've got to carry on doing my asexualized asexual meetup mastery course, which I've started. I've done 8 videos for that, but I had to stop it to do other things that took over priority, and now I've got to get back into that. But tomorrow I've got a meeting with the shop manager about my fibro book. You don't know my other book. So this is my fibro book, which is this is gone into print now. This is like the not resale copies. This is my latest book, if you didn't know. And I've got a local health shop. That's me in my superhero outfit, Ace Fibre Girl outfit, and so basically, I've got to order another copy of this for me to use in adverts and stuff without this across and not resale, because this is a proof copy. This isn't the copy that goes out to the public. So this is one with the last few spelling corrections I did in it, But the one out now is corrected, so it's good to go. But I love the cover. I did it myself. I love this cover. With the help of people choosing what type of tiara she should have and things like that on Facebook, and the exact title and stuff. I had a lot of help and from my Facebook friends, which was great. And so I've got a meeting with a health shop who is interested because it's a holistic health book in some respects. He was interested in having a copy to sell from in store, so I've got to have a meeting with him tomorrow. So yeah, because I've got to order a copy for me, and if he wants it, I've got to order a copy for him. So that's going to be really, really interesting tomorrow. And I've got some other stuff, like I've got to make a complaint about the doctor, because in the UK, right, last time I saw 2 doctors. I saw a first doctor. I'm so glad, and I feel so proud to know an author. Oh, thank you, Eunice. That's really sweet. So so what was I saying? So yeah, I went to see a doctor first of all on the 9th, and they took a sample, a test, and it had something on it, and they wouldn't give me antibiotics there and then. But that's why they wanted me to have the blood test, because they wanted me to test for other stuff, which is more serious. So I hope it's not serious. And then I was not happy because he wouldn't give me antibiotics, and I pretty much having a thought to have an infection. So I went and got a second opinion. And literally, the doctor's notes from when I first saw him was not even on there. It was like I never had the appointment with him. The doctor's notes gone missing. There's no test gone to the hospital like he told me it would. So it's really, really bad. Writing a book, any book, makes you leave some of you in the history of mankind. Oh, Eunice, you've touched my heart, my darling Eunice, because that is exactly what I'm about. You really understand me, and we've only just started talking. That's very, very amazing. I do really like talking to you, even though you're not asexual. I can tell that you're a really good guy. Like, I have a connection with you, don't I? I can tell that. But yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Writing a book, any book, makes you leave some of you in the history of mankind. That is why I love writing. Some people who are close to me don't understand that, you know? I mean, when I say close to me, not boyfriend, because I don't have one, but there's some people who I love dearly in my life, and they just don't get it. And it's like, you know, I will leave a lasting legacy, and that's what I love about writing. Writing is my hugest passion, my love of my life purpose, and my dream. And I do change people's lives. Like, one of my friends has got this book who's not got fibromyalgia, because it's very, very good for overcoming depression and lowering anxiety, right? So even if you don't have fibromyalgia, if you've got any depression or any anxiety, it will help you. It will actually help change your life and stop you having pain in multiple aspects of your life, particularly emotional pain. So a lot of people that have currently bought this, who I know, who are asexuals, actually, as it happens, most of them, you know, it helps you. It's a really, really insightful, like, look into the mind and the mind body spirit correlation. It's a very, very, I have to say, it's a good book. I mean, I know I wrote it, but it is, you know, like, I would like to read this if I didn't write it, if you know what I mean. And this is a point. This is why I love writing so much, because I believe writing is the only way that can change the world, through the written word. I believe there's no more powerful way to change the world and to change someone's life than the written word. You know, like I do like public speaking, right? I've only done it like once last year, but I do like that. But I personally, for me, writing's my hugest passion, right? I mean, I'll be good at doing more public speaking because I'm born to speak, obviously. But writing is my huge passion, right? Because these books will be around like for generations to come. Exactly what Eunice said. Like, because I'm a registered publisher in the UK, this is very important. I've got my own imprint. So this is my own imprint, my own ISBN, right? Which means you can order this book globally. You can go into a bookshop and order it, special order, or you can order from Amazon. Right? This book, a copy goes in the British Library. And they even say on their website, it goes down as a part of British heritage for generations to come. I mean, where on earth can you get such a powerful tool for helping people for years to come? When I'm no longer alive, my books will live on. My books will live on. And that is what I was saying to someone really close to me that they just didn't get. Hi, Normal. Nice to see you. You're back. Lovely to see you. And so it's really, really important, you know. People don't understand that people don't understand how important writing is. But Eunice has literally put knocked the nail on the head, as it were, as they write a book. Any book makes you leave some of you in the history of mankind. And it's really, oh, you've got my book, Normal, you've been reading it. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. That's really good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Which book did you get? Did you get the fibro book, or did you get the asexual book? Which book did you get? Because I got 2. Although this is just obviously this is a not for sale copy. Did you get a fibre book or did you get that asexual book? Who is? Oh, it's really nice. The self-help handbook. Oh, you got that. Oh, that's really good. Did you get it in paperback or ebook? Did you get paperback or ebook version? Did you know? Did you want to answer paperback or ebook? I'll let you answer that. Anyway, oh, the paperback. That's really interesting. Really interesting. That's great. Thank you very much for that. That's really good. Did you get it off Amazon or did you get it from an independent bookstore? I'm really intrigued now. It's really interesting. But yeah, the British Library. Oh, I want to own the book physically. It got used. Oh, that's interesting because it's only just come out. Can you tell me, please, how much of the time you needed to write your books? So right, yes, Eunice, thank you very much. So, this one, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, A Celebration of Asexual Diversity. That pretty much took me a year to write, interview the people and get published. So I published this one in 2017 and it's just like, it was actually within 12 months, but it was on the 12th month that it was finally published in ebook. Then it took me another 6 months to get it out in printed format. And this is a really big book. It's like 500 and something pages. So yeah, 540 something pages it is. So I interviewed oh, you just ordered both. Oh right, that's great. I'll look out for it in my Amazon figures then, because I should get it through. That's really good. Thank you very much. So yeah, this is amazing. So yeah, I interviewed 46 asexual around the globe for it and share my own personal story, and it did take me a year, but that includes like interviewing the people, editing the book, proofreading it, and getting it out into Kindle. But like I said, it did take another 6 months. So it's January 2017 it was released on Kindle, and then July 2017 it was released on paperback. So yeah, it was really good to have that. So my first book, which I haven't actually ever got out in print, was called Break Through the Barriers of Redundancy to Get Back into Work, an A to Z how-to guide. And basically the redundancy book took me 2.5 years to write. So that took me like ages to write. And I used to be in management for like 7 years of my life. So the redundancy book is really good because it tells you basically you know, like how to get back into work, but it does a lot of mindset stuff. Like, because when people have been made redundant, which is called laid off in the UK and the USA, it means, you know, that literally the companies let you go, right, for whatever reason, usually because they're the job, you know, they're losing money in the company, or they feel they can get the job of 2 people done by 1, that type of thing. And so I've been in management before and done recruitment of people and done appraisals and stuff like that. And I've also been an employee as well. So the redundancy is really good. You've got both sides of the story. And it's really, really a holistic book. Again, it's all to do with mindset, a lot of it, and raising your positivity and self-esteem. It's a really important book. So that took me 2.5 years to write my first ever book. Yes, it's a very big book, 12 months of work, and it's going to stay forever. And so that's nice. Yeah, the printed ones, they stay forever. And this has got a copy in the British Library. So literally they say in the British Library, it will literally go down in history as being part of British heritage. And there's no better feeling than that. There's no better feeling, because if the internet went down tomorrow, right, if the internet collapsed, no one can get on Facebook, perish the thought, because I wouldn't be able to talk to you, a lot of you, unless you're on YouTube, and YouTube didn't go around. But just say there was no internet, this book will stay here in the British Library forever, right? It will be there till its pages get old. Do you know what I'm saying? There will always be a copy there. So even if in years to come, like 10, 20, 30, 40 years or whatever, for some reason the internet decide to have an explosion, it all shut down, this book's still going to stay there forever. that's why I love writing books, because there's something physical there that's going to be seen and used over and over again by people. And also there's a copy of this one in 5 other libraries in the UK. There's one in Glasgow, one in Oxford, one in Ireland, and 2 other places as well. So, and this book, I've just ordered a copy of this one to go to the British Library. So this is already on its way to the British Library, and there'll probably be 5 others that I've got to send it to as well. But yeah, the British Library's already got one its way. Special order is like 2 weeks to get it, and that's not what it takes to get it from Amazon, but it's 2 weeks usually when they special order it. When I special order it for them, because I have to buy it. Because when you're self-published, you have to buy it, your own books, for libraries. But by law, because I'm a registered imprint in the UK, I have to give a copy to the British Library by law within a month. And also, if this other registry of like libraries submits a claim to me, they can claim to have these 5 other books go to other libraries. You should always be proud of what you did. Thank you, Eunice. Yeah, I am really proud of what I've done, you know, because to me it's a huge accomplishment, you know. And I just think it's sad when people put anyone puts anyone down and tells them to give up their dream or stop doing it because they don't agree with it, or they don't like it, or they don't want it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's really, really bad. I would never, ever, ever ask someone to give their dream up. I would never, ever ask someone to stop writing, you know, or go backwards in their life. You know, I would always, always encourage people to support their dreams, even if, you know, that circumstances are dire or not so good or not right. There's never ever going to be a time to do everything right in your life. It's like some people, they meet for a relationship, right? And it's not the right time, like things are going on in their life, they're in different careers, they're doing different things, but all of a sudden you just realize that it's the right person to be with, and so you have to just change everything, don't you? And I've always got told anyway, if there is a guy and he really loves a woman, he'll do whatever it takes to get to her, even if he is halfway around the world. I've known guys that blogging guy friends, and they've been and gone around the world for their women. Don't let anyone get you down. Some of people will see you walking in water and they will say, oh, that's because you don't know how to swim. Oh, never listen to bad opinions, just ignore. Thank you, Eunice. It's just a shame when it comes from people who are meant to like love you and care for you, you know, and they got a weird perception that love and care means don't do anything that's like gets you out of your comfort zone, or don't do anything like you know, like I don't make huge amounts of money with my book at the moment. I'll admit that I don't do paid advertising at the moment, never done it. This one I usually sell every month, do you know what I mean? But it's like I do want to make lots of money with my books, don't get me wrong, but it's not why I write them. It's I write them because it changed people's lives and they'll be here for years to come. Like some artists, they have their books sell or records or whatever when they're dead, and they make, you know, there's like loads of money coming from them because people value sometimes what they don't have when they've not got it, if you know what I mean. It's one of those scenarios when your boyfriend or girlfriend walks out and you were just an idiot for not appreciating them whilst they were there in front of your eyes. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, my books will be here for years to come. Yes, I would like to make lots more money. And if I did paid advertising, I probably would make more money. But at the moment, I haven't done it yet. Doesn't mean to say I'm not going to. With my Asexual Guide to Sex book. Oh yeah, Eunice, you don't know that my next asexual book I'm working on, and it's called Asexual Guide to Sex, very ironically. And it's asexual sex stories, sex advice, sex help, and sex guidance. So yes, it's asexuals giving advice about sex. It's a very interesting book. I'm currently working on that with 13 other people. And it's the most incredible book you will ever have read in your entire life about sex. And I probably am going to do a Facebook ad for that. I mean, it's geared towards asexuals, the first asexuals that, you know, like when asexuals are thinking about having sex for the first time, because some asexuals want to try it, or they're in relationships with sexuals and they want to give it a go, right? But they might not know whether to or not have sex and try it for themselves. Doesn't mean to say they're going to want it forever. And so it's all about helping them to make the right choice and decision about whether they want to have sex or not, despite the fact they're asexual. And so it's a really important to get a balanced view. So some of the people in there are like, you know, like pro-sex. Other people have had bad experiences with sex. And it's the most amazing, profound book anyone I've ever read. And it will be in libraries, and it will be go down in history as well. And I think categorically it's going to be the best book ever in sexual history, because asexuals have the most unique perspective on sex that ever existed in this planet. Like, no one has the same perspective as us, and we each have our own unique perspectives within that perspective. And I just think it's a completely different take on the normal heterosexual sexual activity in relationships. Like, when you read the book, all I can say is that when I'm reading it and I'm immersed in it, right, it's just like a virtual reality experience. It's just like you are stepping into the brain of an asexual person and seeing sex through the eyes of that particular person and how they feel about it. But they're giving advice based on real relationships they've had, past experiences, and about what it's like for an asexual to be with a sexual, because there's two different thinking. I mean, you can clearly see when you read the book, it's an amazing book. I cannot rave enough about it, which is why I think I'm just going to advertise a lot more as well. I mean, I like this book a lot. You know, this book does talk about sex because it's love, life and sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. So there is, I looking forward to have your books. Oh yes, please, Eunice. You should definitely read my books. They're very good. They will change your life. Seriously. Like, I know one of my friends, they've bought this book, right? They don't have fibromyalgia, and they quote out of my book to me. And their anxiety has reduced loads, and their confidence has shot up because they got this book. Because literally this gives you antidotes to your pain, but the antidotes are things that make you have a positive mindset even in the face of adversity, and everyone needs that. So literally he writes me messages, and sometimes he'll start quoting me, and he'll start saying, and he'll give this advice back to me and go, oh, someone told me that. It's like me in my own book. It's like giving my advice back to myself. It's really funny. And this book has changed people's lives. I have people messaging it. I love Ace in your book, like Superman logo, and that means superpower. Oh yeah, exactly. So Ace is the what's it called? Like a nickname for asexual. So Ace means asexual, but obviously it can mean number one, brilliant Ace as well. But in the asexual community, Ace means asexual. If someone says that Ace, it means they're asexual. But yeah, I've done it like a Superman. So this was my own design, but I did actually get a designer to design this bit for me, because I've designed t-shirts for asexuals. And at the beginning of my asexual journey and my beginning of my designing t-shirts, I used to pay someone to do this. So I used to sketch it all out in pen and paper, and then I used to like scan it in my iPad and send it off to them and show them. So this is what I told them I wanted, specific like this, because it is like superpower exactly. And so, you know, that's what I wanted, and that's what's on the t-shirt. But I didn't actually do it as like actually the graphics for it. Whereas with this, I've done all this graphics myself, like literally all the things. Like this. I mean, I had to put components together, like pre-made components, but I had to do this for this girl. So this is like one component here I got, and this bit in the middle is another component. Then her hair over here is like another component. Then her hair out here is another component. Then she's got two sets of glasses on, which you can't see. So I've put two together to make her eyes a certain shape, which is more kind. These little stars were really hard to position. And she's got ears that have got to stick out equally, and looks like she's semi-smiling. Thank you, Eunice. So I designed this myself, and all these bits as well. And so using software, which isn't Adobe. So I feel so proud to be able to do stuff like that, because I never, ever years ago thought I could design anything to save my life. And then the designer who first designed my t-shirts, he kept doing them wrong. I used to give him the design, and he kept getting the size wrong. And because I do merch by Amazon and I do Redbubble as well, and you have to have merch by Amazon, have it a set size. You have to. And so he just kept not getting it right. And it's like, how many times do I have to tell you, these are the sizes? And in the end, he goes, oh, if you think you can do it better, then just do it yourself. So I paid him for the ones he'd done. And then I decided, right, okay, I'll have a go at doing it myself. So I watched this video on YouTube. I think it was like 5 minutes long, something like that. And I had my first t-shirt design done. And then I watched another video, which I think was like 7 minutes long or something. And I adjusted the t-shirt I'd done, because I uploaded it, wasn't quite right. I adjusted the t-shirt I'd done with the second video. And then it was perfect. And I sold my first t-shirt within 24 hours of it going live. And I'm like, yeah, I should definitely be doing the designing. So Eunice, the mask means superpower too. And I have to say that it's a creative design. Thank you. Thank you so much. The problem with my mum got resolved. Okay, that's really good. That's very good. So yeah, so I'm actually known as Ace Fiber Girl. Can you see that's my actual superhero outfit as well? That's a picture of me in my outfit, which you've probably seen on my Facebook page if you're connected to me on Facebook, which Eunice, you are. So if you actually looked at my profile, that's my picture with my superhero outfit on. It's very shiny because of the light in here. But I have actually got, so on the front cover is a picture of her in the caricature, and on the back cover it's actually me. Tiny, because obviously the blurb is very huge. So if you can see me, I love my Fiber Girl outfit. I feel so awesome in it. Like literally, I feel like I can't fly, but I feel like I could fly in it. And it does give me superpower. Yeah, Super San. You got it in a nutshell. You really understand me. You've got a very good perception of me, Eunice. To say we've only just met, you have a very, very good perception. Very, very good perception. I have to say that. It's very, very nice. Like, I've just met Eunice and he seems to really understand me. It's like, wow, someone who understands me that's new in my life. That's very good. I mean, obviously asexuals tend to understand me a lot, but not someone who isn't asexual. But that's really, really nice of you. Thank you. So yeah, I'm just so happy because they will go down as part of history. Do you know what I mean? And that's just amazing. I just think there's no better feeling than the written word. And, you know, this will help asexuals in generations to come, you know, and I'm happy that although it's really difficult being in sexual dating groups. I mean, I met Eunice in one, so it can't be that difficult. Some good came out of it. And also I met Ray as well. Then Ray is asexual, as far as I know, as far as he knows. And so yeah, but the good thing about being in these sexual dating groups is although it's hard in the sense that it's not hard because I'm like, whatever, I'm just posting, you know. But I know that I'm going to get a lot of stick for doing it. But it's good because it means that more people are getting the word asexual in front of their faces, whether they like it or not. And I don't know any other asexuals that are doing stuff like that so blatantly, because because with a Facebook group, it's concentrated, right? So if you're on a dating site and you put your asexual, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people in the online dating site that may or may not see you, right? They might be lucky enough to fall on your profile. When you're in a group, it's concentrated. And whenever you post a post at the top of a group, people usually see that immediately. But if no one comments on it, then obviously it just goes and no one sees it very much because only the posts that get commented on a lot are the ones that get seen. So the more mine gets commented on, even though it's rubbish comments, a lot of it, not all of it, then it still gets it seen. And that's, then it's been worth it to me, to especially if I can find some asexuals in the group and pull them out, well, not pull them out because I'm not telling them to go out the group. They can stay there, but I'm saying, put them into my own group and make them feel welcome. And the design in your book and the picture, they are similar. And that means that you are talking from the bottom of your heart. And also it's a proof that your words in the book are not fake. Oh, I love you so much, Eunice. What can I say? You're amazing. It's totally true. You're a very perceptive guy, I have to say. You're very perceptive. Yeah. So basically, I've got my outfit up there actually, but basically, yes, you're totally correct. So, so this is a girl on front and this is me on the back. So yeah, but unlike most superheroes, just either wear a mask or they wear headgear. I've done it specifically, so I wear mask and headgear, and so she wears mask and headgear. So yeah, I'm supposed to be similar to her, but obviously we're wearing different headgear. But I have actually got a mask exactly like that without the stars. I bought one of them as well, but I prefer that one that's actually got the sequins on it, which looks like nearly little stars on it. And I'm eating in a Chinese restaurant there in my city, which is an asexual best friend I was with. So I was having so much fun. And I wanted that on the back so they can see that I'm actually really an asexual girl. And yes, it is an autobiographical book. So all my books tell my own story. So I've got so many stories to share. So this book starts with my own personal story about how I found out I was asexual. And then this bit tells my personal story about how I found out I had fibromyalgia and was diagnosed it. What are the best ways to find other asexuals I'm having trouble? Well, if you are asexual, as in you lack sexual attraction, then you'd go on asexual dating sites. And so you'd go on, you'd Google asexual dating sites and it would come up with a list of the asexual dating sites that are available to you. But, some of them are like paid for, you've got to pay for them. And some of them are free. But, if you're well, I presume you're saying you're asexual, so I presume you are asexual. But yeah, I mean, obviously, sometimes there's people who go on them that are not really asexual. So I'd always say, be honest. And I'm on 2 asexual dating sites. I've been on them for a very, very long time. One's you have to pay for if you want to message people, but I don't, because I've been there since the beginning. So I get special privileges. But I organise my meetups through them as well. So I don't just use it for dating, because I do loads of work for asexuals. So there's asexual dating sites like asexuality.com, ace-book, I call it a dash, but it's ace-net. ace-book.net. I know she call it ace-book.net. I prefer the dash than a hyphen. But the asexuality.com you have to pay for to private message people. Ace-book.net you don't, but you've got to apply to be on it, I think. So yeah, but it's really important that there are some people on there that are not really asexual, which isn't very good really, because I mean, why are they on there if they want completely different things? But then if they're honest about it, I don't have a problem with that. If there's a heterosexual that's on an asexual dating site and they say, "Oh, I'm heterosexual," one is like, why are you on there anyway if you want sex? Most people don't are asexual, but some are okay with having it. But 2, if you don't put you're actually sexual in it, then that's not very fair or right, and then you're lying to begin with. So no one can have a proper relationship with someone when they're not even being honest from the beginning. Do you know what I mean? It's like I don't appreciate people who are not honest from the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Who are not good. So because it's wasting people's time, isn't it? Like I said, some asexuals and sexuals can work together. Sometimes some asexuals don't mind having sex, and sometimes in some relationships the heterosexual refrains from having sex because they'd rather have the brilliant person than have sex and not be with that specific person. So it depends what your goals are in life and what works for you, because obviously if you really need sex, you can't be with an asexual, can you? It's just the way it is. But yeah, no asexual should have to feel like they're being told they've got to be fixed with medication to cure their asexuality, because asexuality is literally a sexual orientation. There's a lack of sexual attraction, so it means that we don't get sexually attracted to anyone, so we don't get the need, urge, or want for partner sexual intercourse, which it means I never look at a guy and think, "Oh, I want sex with you." I might think I'm really aroused right now and enjoy it in and of itself, but I won't think I'm aroused, let's go and do that. Do you know what I mean? I just enjoy being aroused in my own body and not needing to do anything with a guy in terms of sexual intercourse. But you can have a lot of excitement and pleasure through kissing alone. Believe me, I've done both, and kissing is far better. It's far more exciting, far more intense, far more. It's much more energetic, because like I can kiss for like 2 or 3 hours. There's not many people that have sex for a long time. I do actually have an online friend though. I've known them for 4 years and they're married, and they are a hypersexual. So a hypersexual is different to an asexual person. Obviously, a hypersexual is someone who's that hypersexual. They have to have sex, like lots of it, for long periods of time, because they just love the sex so much. And their partner's like that. They're both like that. They tell me about it. So they can have sex for 2 or 3 hours. It can go on for. But they're both like that. So it's really good for them because they're both equally the same. I've spoken to their partners. Well, they're literally like twin flames. You talk to one, it's like talking to exact copy of the other one. It's really, really bizarre. And they got a kid together. It's really, they're literally soulmates. I'm so happy for them. I'm really, really happy for them, because I don't have a problem with having sex, as long as obviously they don't expect me to get involved. And if 2 people are consensual and love it, then that's great for them. But I'm a hyper romantic and I love to kiss. So I can literally kiss for 2 or 3 hours. And that's a good workout, actually. Because most people, on average, they don't have sex for 2 or 3 hours. They'll have it like for a short period of time, maybe half an hour, or maybe, spread out. It depends how many times they have it, doesn't it? If some guys, they just do it quickly in a couple of minutes. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, kissing, you can do it for 2 or 3 hours and it's very energetic. And I have big muscles for a girl because I do exercises. So I do have big muscles for a girl, which I like. So if I am on top kissing a guy, I need the muscles to hold myself up because it hurts. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like you got to really, really hold your arms and really, you know. But yeah, so it would be nice if that Indian guy, you know, wasn't he's saying, "Ham, do you want me to stop messaging? Don't you want to talk, Sandra?" It's like, oh. So it's like, yeah, I have a life of my own. I'm busy. Do you know what I mean? I can't be messaging a guy 24/7, 365 days a year, especially when 1 minute he wants to talk, the next minute doesn't. The next minute he's telling me to take medication, the next minute he's not. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, I think I'll end the live stream there because I think it's been an absolutely fantastic night. We've had a really good chat. It's been like 1 hour and 49 minutes, so nearly 2 hours. I really appreciate you, Eunice, being part of my community here. It's really, really nice you understand me, and it's really, really nice that you know that, yeah, you notice stuff like this design on the fronts, like the design I've got on me, and that we're very, very similar. So yeah, I really appreciate that, and that you know that I'm going to leave a lasting legacy. You really understand me. Thank you so much. I love that about you. Really, really amazing. I'm like, wow, that's so amazing. You've got very, very good vibrational energy. I love that about you. Really, really nice. So thank you everyone else who's been watching. I know Heather's been watching as well. Love to you, Heather. Love to you, Eunice. Nafalo, lots of love. And obviously Ray's gone, but giving him love anyway. And Normals. Oh, thank you for amazing sound. Oh, thank you. Lots of love. You're so sweet. You really are sweet. Thank you for all your support tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Especially because I know you're not asexual, but you've really supported me on this live stream. Like, I couldn't be any more happier. Like, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It's really, really nice. Thank you so much. It's really, really refreshing. And you really understand me. And my writing, why I love to write, leaving a lasting legacy. I just really happy that someone totally understands that. Like, you, who I don't know that well, just totally understands me straight away. Like, what have we known each other for like a couple, is it 48 hours or something? It's like not very long, is it? It's like, it might not even be that long. But you really get me. It's lovely. Thank you so much. And thanks for all the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. If anyone else is watching wants to give me a thumbs up, I would be really cool. If you like this video, please share it. Spread the message of asexuality. If you haven't already subscribed, hit the great big subscribe button now. And don't forget to hit that bell icon, which is really important because then you get notified of every time I go live like now, I post a new video. I hope Ray's dog's okay as well that he's looking after, or I don't know if it's his own dog or one he's looking after, but I hope the dog's okay. Anyway, thank you, Eunice. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, everyone. Lots of love to everyone who's tuned in tonight. I really appreciate you being here and part of my community, as always. Until next time, brace your quote and each other's, and I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Take care and lots of love. Thank you for being here. Bye. Bye.